Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 103 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. We're just going to get on with it because we're going to melt otherwise because it is so hot at the moment. I'm sure there are plenty of places around the world who listen to this podcast who have weather that is a lot hotter than ours. But for us, it's really hot.
First world problems and all.
Yes. And in this tiny room that we record in, it is sweltering. So we're just going to get on with it, I think, today.
So this week,
yes,
we are going to discuss the COP update. We've had a COP update, temporary and the permanent one.
Yes.
We're going to look at the news. We're going to look at rumours. And we're going to look at three opponents this week.
Yeah, because somebody, and they'll remain nameless, sort of messed up a little bit and started doing one for a few weeks and then realised we didn't have enough, so we went to two. We will go back to just looking at two. Just got to do a couple of weeks of three. That's all. Just to make sure that we get everyone in before the new season. So I'm not going to name who made that mistake, but
Ryan.
But we're gonna have a look at three opponents today.
Your shirt this week, Ryan.
Yeah. So it's the 2020-2021.
What?
2020. The 2020.
The 20/21 season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
not complicate things.
Yeah. So this shirt is the shirt. It's the season that Rob and Ryan took over.
Okay. Cool.
Took control of the club. We just missed out on the playoffs this season. Finished 8th in the league. I think we were 1 point off the playoffs. We missed out on the last day of the season for getting in the playoffs. So, if I'm right, yes, it was. So this shirt is the shirt from season 1. So the start of season 1 of Welcome to Wrexham is this shirt, basically.
Okay. I'm wearing a t-shirt that says,
yeah,
I'm not bossy, I'm just aggressively helpful.
Yes.
Which, according to our 12-year-old, is very apt.
Look, before we get going, if you want to support the show, we are very grateful. If you want to do that, you can buy us a coffee. Our Buy Me a Coffee page is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. Yes. So let's talk about, there's only one place to start, isn't there? We got to talk about Arthur. So on Saturday, we had, everyone went into a bit of a frenzy because Wrexham announced that they were going to be going live on YouTube, on Instagram, doing a live stream. Over 1,000 of us sat for over half an hour staring at a HP printer. Just waiting for something to happen. It was
a bit of an anticlimax. I mean, obviously it was amazing news, but it wasn't
an anticlimax.
No, I mean the whole build-up and then what they did. I think it could have been a lot better.
I thought it was perfect. I'm going to completely disagree with you. I thought everything about it was perfect. The PR surrounding it, and to get over 1,000 people sitting staring at a printer for however long,
interacting with it on YouTube as well. There's lots of comments coming through.
I mean, hats off for me to the PR department who put this together and create such a buzz around things, because I thought it was brilliant.
All right, I take back what I said. It was a genius.
I think it is genius, though. You know, you create all this buzz. You know, a lot of teams out there, they will just announce.
We've previously done that.
Yeah, we have, but you know, you want to stand out a little bit, and now we're doing, you know, something a little bit different. It it's a big tick in the box of one of our sponsors. You know, people were staring at one of their printers for an hour, and you know, it's a big tick in the box of raising the profile and awareness of the club.
I wonder how many people were watching it going, oh, do you know what I could do with a new printer?
I know.
Let's get on the HP website.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting to know.
Not just that, I did it, right? I went, I wonder how much that printer is.
Did you?
Oh, 100% I did. And so, you know.
My brain doesn't work like that.
So, you know, it would be strange to sort of, you know, it is strange to think that people sort of.
That's what adverts are, though, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where I was going with it. Thanks for jumping
in. So, basically, the PR stunt or the PR campaign or whatever you want to call it, was basically announcing the amazing signing of our number 33, Arthur Okonkwo. Although...
Well, that's an interesting thing you bring up there, isn't it? Because... what number does he use?
There was a, sorry, I like talking today. I feel like I want to talk a lot.
That's fine.
Makes a change.
It does.
Yeah. There was a YouTube video of basically following Arthur.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, which was really good. And Arthur is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. Yeah, so basically they said, I think it was McCollum, sorry. He asked him what number whether he was going to stick with number 33 or whether he was going to change it. And obviously, as we all know, number 1 is now available.
Yes.
So he mentioned that he may move to number 1, but I don't think we will know that until maybe we see him, you know, on the pitch.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because one thing Kevin said is that, you know, you had a really good season at 33. Everyone knows number 33. I think for me, it would be odd if he didn't move to number 1. I think every goalkeeper out there wants to wear number 1 on their back.
Yeah.
And
to be honest, when I was growing up, right, this is how much I didn't know about football. I always thought the goalkeeper was always number 1, and then the front 3 or whatever was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, that you're right there, because that's how it used to work.
Ah, right, okay.
So when we were back, way back when we were kids, that is what it was. So the starting 11 was 1 to 11.
Okay.
It sort of became quite. It got to a point, especially around the Premier League time, it became quite, I'm going to say Americanized, you know, where it was squad numbers and it was names on the back of shirts and that sort of thing. So that's,
which I don't think is a bad thing.
So that's come about in our lifetime. So you're not wrong.
And obviously, if, say, for example, Elliot Lee, obviously he's number 38, I don't know. Has he always played in number 38?
It's so that is
basically what I'm saying is does it go from them with club to club?
It does with Elliot Lee because it's a reference to a friend of his who passed away. So basically that's why he wears the number 38 and why he's always
that's so sweet.
Yeah, there's a whole I won't go into it now, but there is a reason why he wears 38. He wasn't just allocated 38.
Okay.
So it is something that he has wore before, and that is why obviously Elliot now has cemented his place in the first team, you know, so he might go, oh, I want to be the number 8, you know, because I think everyone, unless there's a personal reason, wants to be a number that's specific to their position.
Yeah.
You know, Paul wearing number 10, Ollie wearing number 9.
They're predominantly striker numbers, aren't they?
But Elliot's got a reason for wearing that number. So, you know, he's been for a few seasons with us. I'm sure he could go, look, I'm a first team regular now. I would like this number, but he doesn't want to change. That's his number. So.
If a player... So, for example, again, say, I don't know, Owen O'Connell's number. I can't remember, 22.
Yeah.
Yep. If he goes to Parky and go, oh, do you know what? I fancy having number, I don't know, 18. And it's somebody...
That's not his number, by the way, but yeah, go on.
I know, these are number examples.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you know what? This season, I think I want to be number 18.
Yeah.
But somebody's already got number 18.
Yeah.
How does that work? Does he go, sorry, no, someone's already got that number, you can't have it?
Depends who's asking. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
suppose,
who is asking the question?
Yeah.
If it was one of the youth players coming through and goes, right, I want number 10.
No.
They're going to go, I don't think so, mate. That isn't happening. But if it was the other way round, where somebody sort of quite sort of junior within a team wears number 10, Paul Mullin comes in and goes, I want number 10. You know, he doesn't have it the first season, for example, or he might do. It depends on the profile of the player. It depends how influential they are or have been on the team as to whether... Look,
we are really digressing.
We are, but sorry. Look, there's loads of things happened in the past. So where a number 9 will go to a club and there's already a number 9 there. I've seen it in the past. It was Inter Milan, and I can't remember the player. But anyway, he went to a club and he wanted to be number 9. The number 9 was already taken.
Yep.
Right. So he took number 18. Yeah. And what he did, he put a little plus symbol in between the numbers, so it was 1 + 8. So
classic.
it was his. Yeah, but it might be the whole superstition thing as well of always wearing that number. Some number 9s might go to a club and wear 19 or 29 or 39. So it just depends.
69.
Look, you are very right. We are digressing massively here.
What were we talking about?
Arthur, what number he was going to pick. I think he will definitely pick number 1. If I'm perfectly honest, I think he'll be number 1. Like
he is our number 1.
Yeah, and I think you know, all goalkeepers, they always want to be number 1, and I think that's what he'll pick.
He's got the opportunity now, so we may as well have it.
Yeah, look, it's a great signing. It's the signing that we all wanted to see, and we have now got it. And I think for me, we can now push on now and bring in some other players. I think it's a very high profile signing, you know, obviously coming from a club like Arsenal, free agent. We've snapped him up. I don't know the ins and outs of what he's getting paid, but I've heard rumours about what he was asking for, and his agent, he wasn't asking for it, let's face it. Well, the rumours were he wanted between 10 and 12,000 a week. How true that is, I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that he is currently, at this moment in time, the highest paid player at the club. That would be my guess. I'm not 100% sure. And one of the youngest as well. Yeah, I know, it's bizarre, but look, this was a very important signing for us. I think we can now kick on. Look, let's talk about the COP for a little bit. So we had a COP update last week. The update was there was no update. That was pretty much the update. Now, for the permanent one, anyway. Yeah. So for me, I think there was a few things hidden in between the lines of this, and you know, there's been a lot of talk on social media over the last week, and for me, there was very much some hidden messages within the absolute no update message that we got. Yeah. So first of all, it was my understanding that plans had been agreed, drawn up and approved for the COP. Right. But based on that statement, it now appears that they're not drawn up, agreed and approved. Okay. That it was my understanding that the land had been acquired and we owned it, but now that doesn't seem the way. So the assumption then is that the plans that we had have now changed. So because we had the plans approved, we had them drawn up, we had that whole 3D modeling video that we had on YouTube to show what it was like. Now, it's my understanding that that's now been scrapped to a degree, and we are going for something a little bit bigger and a little bit better. And but the knock-on of that is that we have to redo the plans and reapply for approval. So, yeah, but they didn't really say any of that. But that is reading between the lines for me. That is where we're at, that we've gone, these are the plans, this is what we're doing, this is the land that we own, yes, all approved. For that now to us be going back and going, oh, we've almost got our plans approved, that tells me we have redone our plans. So, and obviously from certain sources in there and everywhere, we understand that is the case, that it's been redrawn, redesigned. The plans have gone back in again. There's been some high-level meetings last week to get everything signed off.
Yeah.
So although there's a delay, and people are obviously annoyed, disappointed that there's been a delay with getting the COP started, it's our understanding that...
You've said that so many times.
I know, I just got to be a bit careful with what I say.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
These are our opinions.
Well, sort of, but so it's our understanding that you don't want to drop people in it, do you? So it's our understanding that when people do see this, they will be happy that we're having to wait a little bit longer.
Yes, and also as well,
let's just leave it at that, because I don't know what to say in the right way without saying the wrong thing and saying too much.
Yeah,
everyone will be happy when you see it.
Also, Ryan Reynolds actually put, I don't know why I said full name there, we all know who Ryan is.
Well, no, you need to say full name because you've got Ryan sat right next to you.
Yeah, but, you know...
If you say Ryan tweeted, people are going to think it's me, aren't they?
Okay. Our chairman, Ryan, put a story on Instagram, I think it was, basically saying thank you to... basically what I'm saying is I think we've got new builders. We did, I believe we had a company from Liverpool who were originally going to be doing the build, and I don't know whether that's kind of hindered it a bit or whatever, or delayed it for any reason. But I believe now that we've got another company who will be overseeing the building of the new COP. So hopefully they'll kind of,
the architects that we've got as well have also got experience in stuff outside of football, which I think is always quite an important thing.
Yeah.
Because I like that they've got experience in other areas as well. So yeah, look, we'll move on a little bit from this. The temporary COP is going to be increased to 3,000. Work on that has already started. We've had the approval to increase that to 3,000 as well. So we'll have even more people in the racecourse. No plans for a roof on the temporary COP, in case anyone was going to throw that question back at us. There's no plans to do that at the moment. So that's still going to be... Look, in the first few months of the season, I doubt that's really going to be an issue. It's when we start getting into November and December, I think that might become a little bit of an issue. But you can't just keep throwing money after money at a temporary structure. We'll increase it, more money. We'll put a roof on it, more money. You can't just keep doing that. I mean,
Rob and Ryan have both been, and Sean as well, they've both been very honest, saying that basically this temporary stand is a money pit. It's not real. Obviously we're going to get more people in, but I don't think the revenue from those tickets are going to kind of go over what they've spent on it.
It won't at all.
And to me, that's a good thing. That's wrong. Not a good thing that Rob and Ryan are losing money. That's not at all. What I mean is the fact that you can tell that Rob and Ryan have definitely got the club at heart, and they aren't all about making money. They want to get more fans in, and they're doing what they can to kind of do that. Yeah,
definitely. You can look at it two ways. Yes, it's it's something that they're doing for the wider community and for the international fans who come over to allow more people to get into the games. But what you're also doing is you're allowing people to come into games over a longer period of time, so that when that COP is ready, they've got a bit more of a taste for it, and you're almost guaranteed to sell the tickets, even though they were guaranteed to sell the tickets anyway. I'm just saying it helps build that appetite for coming to games, I think, a little bit. So look, as I said, it was a bit of a non-statement, but there was definitely stuff in between the lines there to sort of point people in the direction that that things have changed a little bit, and everyone will be happy. Just trust me, everyone will be happy on that one.
So let's move on to news. So it came out last week. Oh, I've got the hiccups. It came out last week that Luke Young has now signed for League Two team Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Cheltenham, which is amazing news. I'm so happy for him. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer him to be at Wrexham, but you know, we can't have it all. So he's moved to Cheltenham. He did a video for obviously the Cheltenham fans, and I think he's really excited to get going. And yeah, Cheltenham fans, you are lucky.
You are. I do find it a little bit of a strange move in a way, in the sense of I knew it was going to be. I think I was quite strongly believed it was going to be a League Two club.
Yeah.
I am happy that it's a relegated League One club who are going to throw a little bit of money at the new season. They've got a good chance, I think, of going straight back up, Cheltenham. So I'm glad in that sense that he's in a club like that. Who are ambitious and are going to be pushing forward. The thing that surprised me a little bit is the distance, because we know that Luke isn't going to move to Cheltenham. He lives just outside Wrexham. He's going to stay living just outside of Wrexham. So that's a very big commute. From Wrexham to Cheltenham, so that's the thing that surprised me.
Yeah.
That he was going to a club that was so far away, and he is going to commute there because that's a lot of miles. But having said that, you know, you just don't know how many offers were on the table, and you know,
it's getting close to the start of the next season. Isn't
you have to take something. And if there was only 1, 2 or 3 offers, maybe this was the best offer. We genuinely don't know.
Yeah. He would have done what's best for him and his family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah. So because he's that kind of guy, isn't he?
He is. But Luke, good luck. We wish you all the best at your new club. I'm just really happy you're not playing for someone that we're going to be playing next season. A couple of sort of new contracts for players. So we had Stephen Fletcher. Signed a 1-year contract with the club. Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knew it was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen.
Well, we did know it was going to happen. To be honest, it was our understanding this happened about a week ago. We knew it had already happened, and it's only just been announced. So yeah. Look, I'm with you. Really happy. I think we need to sign a striker. If I'm completely honest, you know, you've got Paul who does what he does. I think you need someone else who's going to chip in with a decent amount of goals. Stephen, Ollie off the bench. I think, you know, big target man when you're chasing games. I'm more than happy with Stephen re-signing. Look, he'll go as long as he can. And,
why not?
And you know, I think he turns 38 this season. Who cares? As long as you're still performing, you know, all the best.
Even if it is for like 20 minutes.
Talking about elder statesmen, Mark Howard has also signed a 1-year contract that we now know is as our number 2 moving forward. I think Mark is definitely going to move into some sort of goalkeeper coaching role. Whether that's with us in the future, we don't know. But yeah, I'm really happy that Mark comes in. Again, you know, when Arthur got injured last season, Mark come in, did a really solid job. He did a few things at the TST in the summer that you sort of go, do you know what? You know, you could be pushing to be playing. You know what I mean? So I know it's a very different game, you know, TST, but he still got it. You know, and he can still do a job if he was called on. So I'm really happy that Mark's here for another year. Aaron James as well signed a 1-year contract. Young player. I think it's very important that we are holding on to some of our young players.
He did well last season, so I think it is a good sign.
He did. Look, he played in a couple of different teams. You know, he's only 20. He played in, you know, sort of the reserves. He played, you know, he's played for the academy before. You know, so the under what have we got? 18s he's played for in the past. You know, he's very much Wrexham, so I'm happy that we're holding on to him because you just can't keep getting rid of your young players. I'm
not sure whether he's from around here, but I know that he's got family around here, so I think that's quite important for him. Yeah. Definitely. So congratulations to everyone. We're really glad that you're going to be with us for at least another year, another season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously Arthur's contract is for 3 years till the 26-27 season.
Yes,
so that's amazing.
It's you know, it's all It's all good. It's all good at the moment.
It's going in the right direction, and you told you didn't need to stress, did I?
Yeah.
Well, we do
still stressing a little bit, but we'll come on to that in a minute. Just a quick one for anybody who didn't know.
An aside.
Yes. So Rob Page, who was Wales national team manager, got the sack this week.
I was surprised by this.
Yeah, and go on.
The reason why I'm surprised is because he is the first manager to get Wales into, you know, was it the World Cup? Yeah, into the World Cup since 1958. So you know that's no mean feat. But yeah, they didn't get into the Euros this year, so maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know.
It's an awkward one, really, because Chris Coleman had, he was there before him, and Ryan Giggs, who was there before him, had a very generational team. You know, it was a team that you look at and you go, we're not going to have this again, you know, because we had, you know, the likes of Gareth Bale and Joe Ledley and Aaron Ramsey in there, you know, and some other sort of players who just sort of all gelled in so well, and you know, they're sort of the reason that we made it to the Euros and made it to the World Cup. And when we got to the World Cup, it was quite evident that Gareth wasn't able to play as much as he used to because of the injuries and all that sort of thing that he'd had.
Yeah.
And it very much felt like the end of the road for Wales. And I think what Rob Page did really well is he started to rebuild with a really young squad. And he sort of won. He drew and lost as many games as he won as a coach. But with what he's got now, I think maybe he could have done a little bit better, but at the same time, I just felt that it was really hard for him to do better with what he had compared to what we've had over the last sort of 10 years.
I think we were spoiled, weren't we?
We were a little bit just in that short period. The one thing for Rob, you know, thanks to Rob for everything that he's done for the national team.
Like he watches this.
Yeah, but you know, just to put it out there, you know, I am thankful for everything he's done. I think what happened later on is he lost the fans. He lost the support of the fans.
They get booed off at like one of the games.
Yeah, well, recently they've performed terribly recently, and he'd lost the support of the fans. And as soon as that happens, it's inevitable what's going to happen. Look, you know, there's a few names up for the job. Steve Cooper would have been my choice. I think, you know, Premier League experience. He's just gone to Leicester, so he's taken charge of Leicester. I think Osian Roberts is the clear favourite at the moment. He has been the assistant manager at Wales. He spent last season as caretaker manager of Como in Italy. He got them promoted to Serie A. That's Cesc Fabregas's team, Como in Italy. Cesc Fabregas when they sacked their manager, he took charge for a little bit, but he didn't have the right UEFA licenses and badges. So they give him a dispensation for a month, and then Osian took over for the remainder of the season as a caretaker manager. It might be his time. I don't know. I'm not going to dwell too much on Wales. It's just some information for everybody from around the world of what's going on in little old Wales with our national
little
team.
Wales.
Transfer rumours. I think I've only done one this week because
it's like there's just no rumours, really, is there?
But there's one big one. There's one that I think a lot of people, when we had the announcement on Saturday,
thought this was going to be.
They thought that maybe it was going to be a double announcement, that it was going to be Arthur, and maybe one other, and this is the person that they thought maybe it might be. So it's Joe Morrell. So Joe Morrell
This name's been bandied about quite a lot, hasn't it,
so
recently?
it's quite a complex situation with Joe Morrell. So he's a 27-year-old midfielder. He's a Wales international as well, with 37 caps to his name. He played at the World Cup as well. Only a bit part player at the World Cup, but, you know, some experience with the national team, definitely. He's only 5'6".
So he's a little baby.
He is quite small. He's been at Portsmouth since 2021.
Yeah.
Who are obviously been in League One. They got promoted from League One last season, so they'll be in the Championship next season. His contract came to an end, so this is where it gets a little bit complicated. His contract came to an end, and Portsmouth said that they weren't going to renew his contract. Okay. Now, The situation's a little bit unclear because there's now reports coming out that he is negotiating with Portsmouth for a new contract.
Yeah.
Although Portsmouth have already said previously that they weren't going to renew his contract. So it's a little bit unclear about what's going on there. QPR and Birmingham are also reportedly interested, but numerous sources out there claim that Wrexham are the favourites, like Goal, Sport Bible, all them sort of online, which I never know whether to take seriously or not, because online news, especially ones that advertise, you have to wonder how much of it's clickbait and how much they're using the Wrexham name to draw people into reading their stories to then advertise other stuff and all that sort of jazz. So I don't know. We're reportedly favourites.
But, you know, the other teams that are interested in him could be saying exactly the same thing.
Yes, exactly. But I don't know. I think it would be a good signing, if I'm completely honest. He had an operation on a knee cartilage problem in January. In February. But he hasn't played since the 30th of January. Okay, so on the face of it, you go, that's concerning.
Stay clear.
Okay, but his recovery has gone really well. And people do have knee operations quite regularly.
Stephen Fletcher had one recently.
That was going to be my exact next point. Stephen Fletcher had one. He had the operation, successful, got back into training. He was out for a couple of months. Fine.
You've not been the same since your knee injury, have you?
No. No, I never have.
Since your knee surgery.
No, I've never been the same. Still hurts to this day.
It does.
But, you know, so it happens a lot in football. And I don't think it's something to be overly concerned about. For me, the thing that you're concerned about is players who have injury after injury after injury, either the same injury or injury with that, injury with this. Aaron Hayden, for example, you know, who had this injury, that injury, thigh, calf, hamstring, you know, and that's the sort of player that you start looking at and going, hang on a minute, something's not quite right here in whatever it is. You know, it's either the training that we're doing that it's not being managed properly, or he's not managing something properly, or he just has an issue with his legs in general, that
which, you know, is a fundamental thing when you want to be a footballer.
But I think when a footballer goes 10 years, has one operation, I don't think that's, you know, 10 years with no injuries, one operation, I don't think you can just write that player off. I think, you know, for me, I think it'd be a really valuable sort of signing.
So would he be a like-for-like swap with Luke Young?
No, because Luke Young sat on the bench. He would definitely not be a
like. You know what I mean? If obviously,
okay, I'll
his
tell
sort of position. I mean,
I will tell you who he's a like for. Andy Cannon.
Nah.
That's who he's a like for.
No, don't sign him. No. Andy Cannon is amazing.
Just telling you. I'm just giving you the facts.
Well, I'm not happy about that.
Well, there you go.
Parky, I'm not happy about that.
So, he's a midfielder. So you have to remember, we've got George Evans, we've got Andy Cannon, and then we have Elliot Lee in a more sort of like advanced position, between, you know, sort of playing up there. So you're not taking George Evans out of that team, because he's the one who controls that whole midfield, okay? From behind, he's the one that has the vision and does everything, okay?
Yep.
So you're not replacing Elliot Lee. You're not replacing George Evans. I'll be honest, they're about the same height as well. So it's that little tenacious midfielder who gets about and, you know, gets stuck in and can score goals, but doesn't necessarily score a lot of goals. You know,
we put Andy Cannon somewhere else.
On the bench. Yeah.
No, I think we need Andy Cannon in the team. I really do. I'm not happy.
No, look, I don't know. I
hate football.
I know, but this is. I keep telling you, this is sort of like the side effect of success. The players you love, all of a sudden, are potentially not quite as good as the players that you could bring in. I am not saying that Andy isn't good enough to play in League One. I truly believe that he is. But what I am saying is that because he's a League One, League Two player,
yes,
there are always players out there who are better than him.
Okay.
And that goes for every single person in our team. As good as they all are, there are better players out there. Just a fact. So it's a side effect of being successful, this is, and you have to expect it. The players that you love, that you see playing week in, week out, all of a sudden are sitting on the bench because better players have come in. Luke Young is a prime example of this
All
for you.
right, I don't like it though.
Played week in, week out, National League. You fell in love with him. You thought he was brilliant. And what happened?
I wasn't in love with him.
No, I'm just saying, you know, and all of a sudden he's sitting on the bench and he's never getting a game. But then you fall in love with the players that come in to replace them.
I know, but it's just a fickle world, isn't
It
it?
is, and that is the merry-go-round of football. And while you're in the lower leagues, that is the merry-go-round of football. And that is what you have to get used to as a football fan. You've got to get used to that.
I'm not used to change, though. I don't like change.
No, but there's going to come a time when every single one of the players we've got now
I know.
go either leave because they're retiring, or get replaced by someone better.
Okay.
And that's how you keep building and moving forward.
Just when you do that, Wrexham, can you like drop it to us like gently and not just like he's gone, he's on the bench.
They do it gently.
They stick him on the bench
They
first.
stick him on the bench.
All
and
right,
then,
okay.
So it is. Look, a couple of people got in touch. Silvio Fancy Boy said, love the podcast, thank you. I agree with Sean, not too concerned about signings yet. Also, get well soon, Millie. And I watched season 3 finale and saw some geezer talking about back to back to back. Good stuff, Ryan. Thank you very much.
I just want to say as well, Sandy, who is the one that goes around interviewing people and stuff like that for Welcome to Wrexham, messaged Ryan the other day. He said that he's got nothing to do with Edding because I said that I was coming for him. I was joking. Obviously, I'm not coming for you. But what you said in the message about the third series? Fourth. Yeah.
So Sandy, but Sean is saying make that happen.
Make it happen, Sandy.
Or
and all is forgiven.
Or if they just want to keep showing me, that's fine as well.
Get lost.
There we go.
Paul M. Wrexham said, I wouldn't be worried about no signings while everyone is still on holiday. But
Paul Mullin, Paul M. Wrexham. Yeah, definitely.
I just realised that.
Bruce McFarlane, we've got irons in the back channels and talks going on in the fire. Most of the time that has passed has been the true off-season rather than the pre-season with no impact on season preparation. But if there are no signings by July the 1st, that'd make it a concern. Look, I think we can say we've got a sign-in now, haven't we?
Arthur Okonkwo, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yes, he isn't. Look, he wasn't our player. He now is our player, and he is. So I'm taking that
as opposed
as a sign-in.
Yeah.
You know, we've done a sign-in.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy with that. But like Bruce says there, if there aren't any sign-ins by the 1st of July. The Arthur one's done now. We do need a few more. So I would like to see something over the next week.
I feel...
Joe Morrell, ideally. Please.
I feel like last week, it was very much Monday, Tuesday, when there was something new coming out, like Stephen, Mark, Aaron, head of community, and then obviously Arthur.
Yeah.
So I think next week, this week, should I say, because obviously this comes out on Monday, I think we're going to... Possibly by the time this comes out on Monday, we may have had a new signing already.
That'd be cool. And the fact that we haven't even mentioned it.
It's annoying because, you know.
It is annoying.
But if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email us at methewife at Wrexham. Me the wife and WrexhamAFC@gmail.com. Sorry, I always fluff that one.
Do you know the bit that you always get wrong though?
No,
the title of the podcast. The title of the podcast, that should be the easiest bit. You're more than welcome to get anything else wrong, but don't forget the name. Anyway, next season opponents. So we're going to go through 3, as I said.
Bs.
Yeah, look, a quarter of the teams in League One, their name starts with a B. So this week I've gone for 3 Bs. We've gone for Burton Albion, Bristol Rovers and Barnsley.
Why do I always feel like you want to go Barnsley?
Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Because I just do. I don't know. First up, Burton Albion. So they were founded in 1950. So a relatively new club, Burton Albion. They're 70 miles away. It's about an hour and 40 minutes-ish, give or take.
That's not too bad.
They play at the Pirelli Stadium. Without reading the notes, do you know why it's called the Pirelli Stadium?
Is it where tyres are made?
No, it's so there is.
They make tyres at the stadium.
So it was the Pirelli Tyres Sports and Social Club was on that site, and they knocked that down to build the stadium. So to keep a little bit of heritage, they named it the Pirelli Stadium.
Cool.
It's quite a small ground.
Oh, my legs are sticking to my chair.
It is hot. The stadium's quite small, a capacity of 6,912. But
it's a very bizarre number, that, isn't it?
It is, but the away fans, it's quite a decent allocation for such a small ground, to be honest. So it's between 14 and 1,800 away fans that they get at the Pirelli, so that's pretty decent. The last away game was a 3-2 home defeat in the EFL Trophy last season. So you remember that. There was 3 goals in the first 5 minutes, I think. They went 1-0 up. Dalby, did they go 2-0 up? Dalby scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up losing that one 3-2. The last league game was February 2009 when we lost 2-1 at the Pirelli. That was in the National League. Burton won the league that season. They've been an EFL team ever since. They made it all the way to the Championship between 2016 and 2018. The nickname is the Brewers, and that is basically the brewing sort of heritage of Burton-on-Trent. Basically, that's why they're called the Brewers. Last season, they finished 20th on 46 points, 2 points above relegation. They survived relegation to League Two on the last day of the season. Ooh. Top scorer, they had 2 of them, Joe Powell and Nick Helm. Nick Helm, he's an actor, isn't he?
Is he comedian. Is he the one that's in Nativity?
No, he's in Uncle.
Oh, I thought that was exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, sorry. But they only scored 5 each last season.
And they're the top scorer. That doesn't say much, does it?
They've released 7 players this summer. 6 loan players returned to their parent club as well on top of that, and they've brought in 5 new players in the summer. They were owned by Ben Robinson until recently, and he sold his majority stake, and he is the father of Fleur Robinson, and that's why. So we got Fleur from Burton. She stayed for a bit, and now she's gone back to Burton. But her dad no longer is the majority stakeholder at Burton. They've sold it to a company that I can't remember. But there we go.
So our next opponent is Bristol Rovers. They were founded in 1883. So they're a bit older than Burton Albion. Just a touch.
Just a touch.
It's 158 miles away from us, which is about 3 hours. It's a long track, that.
Yeah.
Their local rivals are obviously Bristol City. One of the 8 cities in UK with 8 professional football teams. That's a lot.
No, they're what? No, sorry.
Oh, one of 8 cities.
They're one of 8 cities in the UK with multiple, with like 2 or multiple professional football teams.
So like Manchester's, Man City.
Yeah.
They play at the Memorial Stadium, and this is a massive capacity, I think. Not massive, but not like Man City ground. I'm obsessed with talking about Man City.
I know.
Anyway,
it's less than ours, so I wouldn't say it was massive.
No, but what I mean is the allocation's crap. So it's 11,000 capacity, and the away fans ticket allocation will be 1,100
ish,
which is crap.
Yeah.
Their last game was a 0-0 draw at the racecourse in December.
Not their last game.
Our last game.
With them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know what I mean.
You're lucky, I'm lucky you know what you mean. Everyone else might not.
Okay, so our last game with them was a 0-0 draw at the racecourse in December 2014, which took place in the National League. You can carry on.
We lost the away game that season 1-0 as well. We had a man sent off in both games. They finished second that season and they won the playoff final. They've been an EFL team ever since. 2 seasons in League Two and 7 in League One for Bristol Rovers. Nickname is the Pirates, obviously the maritime history of Bristol, or the Gas. I think a lot of the fans call themselves the Gas. That's because their old ground was next to a gasworks, so they just became known as the Gas.
There's so much thought goes into these nicknames.
Last season, they finished 15th on 57 points. Top scorer was Chris Martin. Not
Coldplay.
Not the Coldplay one. With 15 goals. They've released 7 players this summer, and 6 loan players returned to their parent club. I think what's quite obvious, something that Barry mentioned last week, is League One is very good for playing the loan market. You know, we've just gone through 2 teams here that have gone, they've had 6 loan players return to parent clubs, another 6 loan players return to parent clubs. So it is something that a lot of teams do in League One. They've got no new arrivals as yet at the time of recording. I think this is one I want to do. An away day at Bristol. Have you ever been to Bristol?
No, but you went on your stag do there, didn't you?
I did. I love it. I think it's brilliant, Bristol. It's a great place to go. There's lots of things to do. It would be an overnight stay, I think. I'd quite fancy doing that in Bristol. Are you up for that?
Yeah, whatever. Not going to obviously the haunts that you went to on your stag do.
No, maybe not.
I still don't know whether you went to a strip club or not.
You don't know if I went to a strip club on my stag do? Don't know.
No, you're not that type of guy. Why go out and get chicken when you got beef at home?
Beef? You're referring to yourself as beef.
I don't know what the saying is.
Steak. Why would you go and get a burger if you've got steak at home? There's no chicken and beef.
I was just going for like a really generic meat, and then
is that what you're referring to yourself as, a generic meat?
No, the chicken was generic.
What's beef then?
Well, yeah, it's
more upmarket than chicken. Is that in your mind?
I meant steak, really.
Well, there you go. Why go out for a burger when you've got steak at home? That is the saying. Okay.
I like mine better. Why go out for chicken when you've got beef at home?
Anyway, let's move on to Barnsley. Founded in 1887. They're 86 miles away. God, you've just thrown me now. So just under 2 hours away. They play at Oakwell. Big one. Capacity of 23,287, 6,257 away fans that they can accommodate there. So I don't think there's any real issues with getting tickets for that one.
Like you put here, it's rarely been used in full. I don't think they will for us either, purely because of who we are.
Possibly. No, it's more that the away fans haven't sold that many tickets to be able to fill it. That's what I mean.
So they don't reduce the capacity.
They don't reduce it. No. The last game between the two of us was the 2-2 draw at Oakwell in League One in April 2005. The last home game was August 2004, which is also in League One, which we won 2-1. Goals from Steve Roberts and Chris Armstrong. Do you know Chris Armstrong? Used to play for us? No. He played for us. He's one of the bigger players in our past. He left us. I think he went to Millwall first. He played for Spurs, played for Crystal Palace as well, and came back to us at the end of his career. So in 2005,
why doesn't that surprise me?
So in 2004. That was at the end of his career when he'd come back and he scored in that game. Okay. They were in the Premier League for one season in 1997-98 season. Last season was their first back in League One after 3 seasons in the Championship. They lost in the League One playoff semi-final last season to Bolton after finishing 4th on 86 points. They only won 1 of their last 9 games, which sort of meant that they ended up in the sort of playoffs. Their top scorer is Devante Cole, who scored 18. He's the son of Andy Cole, who used to play for Man United.
Man United, yeah. I think I know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They've released 11 players this summer, including Devante Cole, who's
Get
their
him
top
signed
scorer.
up.
Yeah.
18 goals.
Yeah.
What we need.
4 loan players returned to parent clubs. 1 signing so far, which was Conor Hourihane, which was obviously rumoured to be coming to us. But yeah. Yeah, so there we go.
That was fun.
Out of those
three, Burton, Barnsley, and
Barnsley.
Which was the other one?
Bristol Rovers.
Bristol Rovers. You fancy Bristol Rovers?
I would like to go to Bristol Rovers.
I'd like to go to Barnsley.
No. I'm going to say. I'll rephrase. I'd like to go to all 3. I think Burton would be a day trip.
Yeah.
I think Bristol Rovers would be a stay over the night and
so you can
do
guarantee
all
that Alfie won't want to come with us.
Yes. At Barnsley, I'm not sure. Somewhere in between the two. Definitely want to go to it. I think you'd almost. I'm not going to say we're guaranteed a ticket, but as long as you're on time, I think you're sure you're going to get a ticket. I'm not sure if I'd want to stay over in Yorkshire or there and back in the same day. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I'd like to go to all 3 of them. I think
we'd like to go to every single away game. Let's face
I know
it. But,
we would, but that's not always possible.
No.
Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Thursday at 7 p.m. and that's for men. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for the women. The best thing to do is follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter. 2 great services.
Yes, definitely.
1 great service split into 2
well, no, it's
functions. I don't know. Anyway, it's brilliant.
They're brilliant.
It's quiz time. Yeah?
Yeah, my heart sinks when I hear those words.
Oh, come on. You should be used to it by now.
I am used to it, but I have done terribly for the past few ones.
Yeah, you haven't done great. And I'll be honest, I'm starting to wilt here now. I literally, I'm so hot.
It is really warm in here. We need some aircon in here for summer.
Yeah, we do. We need something. We do have a fan down here, this thing, but it's so loud. We can't have it on while we're recording. So we just have to, we suffer through for you. That's what we do.
We do.
Okay. Question 1 of the quiz.
My top lips way.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Earlier, I told you that Bristol was one of 8 cities in the UK with 2 professional football teams.
You did.
For 1 point, can you name 4 of the other cities?
Manchester.
Correct.
Oh, do I say Merseyside? Because obviously you've got Liverpool.
No, you're more specific than
Liverpool.
That. Correct.
So that's 1, 2. Arsenal.
It's not a city.
Oh no, it's not, is it? There's 4.
Well,
there's 8.
There's 7. No, there is 8 in total. Obviously, Bristol's 1. You're not having that one. You've named Manchester and Liverpool. You need another 2 for a point.
Glasgow?
No, this is in. I'm talking. Sorry, I did say UK. But I'm talking about English.
English League.
Yeah. I did say UK though, so I do apologise for that.
You did.
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're failing on that one.
Yeah, they're going to be so obvious.
They are pretty obvious, but there was a part 2 to this question. A bonus point to name all of them, because I thought you'd get 4, if I'm completely honest.
Well, that went down like a lead balloon, didn't it?
It did, a little bit. So Bristol was 1. Obviously, you know that one.
Yep.
That you didn't get to name that one. Manchester?
Yes.
You got, tick. Liverpool? You got, tick. Birmingham, which is Birmingham Villa. Nottingham? Notts County, Notts Forest.
As if I didn't get that one.
Yeah, no. I'm surprised you didn't get the next one. Sheffield United, and Sheffield Wednesday.
When you put on the spot, I just don't. Yeah.
Weirdly, that you didn't get the biggest one of all, which has got absolutely loads of professional football clubs in England. London.
I was going to say London, but then I thought.
But you didn't know, did you?
But that's not a city, though. Oh, it is a city.
London, just for anyone who's trying to learn geography from around the world, don't listen to Shan. London is definitely a city.
It is a city. It is the capital city of England.
Yes, and the last one is Stoke. So
Stoke-on-Trent.
No, Stoke City and Port Vale playing Stoke.
Wow, can we restart?
Absolutely not. No.
Cut and edit.
Yeah, I knew geography wasn't your thing anyway.
Geography.
And I think you've just proved it. Just with a couple of words, London's not a city. I think that you've just proved to everybody you know nothing about geography.
You know when the words are coming out your mouth and you realise...
Oh, let me get them back.
Yeah, when I realised I was being an absolute...
Yeah, okay. So we talked about 3 teams today.
Yeah.
But which ground has the biggest capacity?
That will be... Barnsley.
That is not the name of the ground.
Oh, the Memorial Stadium.
You're going for the Memorial, yeah? Bristol Rovers ground, yeah? Is that what you're going for, Sonny? Sonny, what? You're going for Bristol Rovers ground, yeah? But the Memorial.
What was the question again?
Which one's got the biggest capacity?
Oh, I said Barnsley's got the biggest capacity.
I know you have, but that's not the name of the ground.
The Pirelli.
That's Burton, so you're going for Burton. So you've named 2 of the 3 grounds that we've talked about. I can't remember
but it's Barnsley, but I can't remember the stadium.
It's Oakwell. Unlucky.
Well, no, I should get a point because I said Barnsley.
No, because I specifically worded the question that it wasn't which team's ground, it was which ground. The answer was Oakwell.
I'm taking a point for that.
How tall is Wrexham transfer target Joe Morrell?
5'6".
5'6", that is correct. You've got 1. You're up and running. What is former Manchester United player Andy Cole's son's name?
Devontae.
It is Devontae, yes. Number 5. This shirt is the 2021 home shirt. But where did we finish in the league that season?
Second.
Second.
4th. 5th.
I'll have to push you for an actual answer, not just naming numbers.
4th.
4th.
Do you know what? Yeah, 4th, but I know it's wrong now because you're...
Don't jab your finger at me.
You just...
No, it's 8th. Outside the playoffs, remember? We talked about that at the start, yeah. A bonus question. Okay.
No, I can't name all 8.
No, okay. We spent over half an hour on Saturday staring at a HP printer.
We did.
What was the name of the model of printer? It was on the screen throughout the whole time we were waiting.
Perclet or something?
Perclet.
I've no idea. I wasn't watching the screen.
Perclet.
I don't know.
The Perclet. Are you going for Perclet?
Yes.
I've never heard of Perclet.
Neither have I.
It's called a smart tank. Oh, that's unlucky, that. It's unlucky. I genuinely think if you had a little bit more knowledge, you'd have got more questions right.
Shut up.
My favourite question...
You're so smug, and it really gets on my wick.
My favourite question was the ground one.
No wonder everyone likes me more than you.
My favourite question in all of them is the ground one, where you went, oh, it's Barnsley. Oh, no, I need the name of the ground. Okay, Memorial. Oh, Bristol Rovers. Oh, right. No, it's Barnsley. Yeah, no, but what's the name of the ground? Pirelli. So you go for Burton. It's like you could name the grounds of the other 2, except for the one that you needed for the answer.
I think you knew that, though. I think you knew that I would struggle with that one.
It's the shortest one to remember as well. Oakwell.
Well, I think we can safely say that quiz was a bit of a disaster.
But
I'm going to blame the fact that I'm absolutely boiling and my brain's not functioning correctly.
Your brain is a bit overheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What? Just out of interest, what are you going to blame the other 102 episodes on? Because it hasn't been this hot for them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure. It's just varying degrees of temperature. Too hot, too cold. Just 2 in the middle. Yeah? What should we go with?
I'm just going to ignore
Look,
you.
it's been a great week. It has been a great week. You know, we've got Arthur in. We've got a sort of update on the cop. And I think sometimes you just need, as a Wrexham fan, I think sometimes you just need a little bit of a slap in the face to sort of go, look, things are good. you know, don't worry that we haven't signed anyone. Don't moan about this. Don't moan about that. Things are good. Things are going well. And they're just going to keep getting better.
We've got Arthur, baby. Signed, sealed, delivered.
And I think you just need to enjoy it a little bit. It's not going to stop me stressing that we haven't signed anyone else. But you know,
we're going through some stuff at the moment with me, and I don't think I've ever seen Ryan so laid back about it. But mention football, and he's a wreck. Go figure.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's weird for me because I try not to stress about the stuff that you can't control.
You can't control it.
But then when it comes to the football,
you have no control whatsoever about that.
But I can apply the principle of you know, not stressing about the stuff that you can't control.
Yep. Yeah,
I can apply that. CBD, that's the way to go, by the way. But anyway, I can apply that principle there. But I can't apply the same principle when it comes to football. I'm just a mess. My head's gone. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, who knows?
It's just your warped mind.
Anyway, I've enjoyed it this week.
Yeah, it's been good.
I think I said joyed instead of I enjoyed it this week, but
I don't think anyone would have noticed.
No, probably not. Anyway, we're waffling now. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. However it is that you are tuning in, please don't forget to subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you are listening to the podcast on Spotify or one of them other wonderful places that you get your podcasts from, if you wouldn't mind just jumping over to YouTube, subscribing to us on there. It really helps us out. We're quite close to 1,300 subscribers now.
We are.
It's taken a while to get from 1,200 to 1,300, but it keeps ticking on in the right direction.
We're nearly 2,000 on Twitter as well for our followers, which is amazing.
Cracking on.
Yes.
Cracking on.
Getting there slowly.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us again this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.